excited that all of you could join us. And of course, we have the amazing Whoopi Goldberg with us here today. Please, warm welcome. And Whoopi, just so you know, who we have in the audience is really, the cannabis industry leaders here in the Nevada cannabis community. And we have such a warm welcome for you.
Yeah, thank you guys. I love you. No, well, thanks. But what you've been able to get going in a short amount of time, and you're really sort of leading the way for other states to recognize what the possibilities are. And we are in an awkward position at this time because we have someone who doesn't know anything about weed and who's sort of saying crazy stuff, but he's going to be occupied by Russia for a while, so I think we're in really good shape. But what you all are doing is fantastic. It's what everyone was talking about, being able to come somewhere with whatever card you happen to have, and people aren't going to turn you away. And it's especially good for people on the medical side, because, everybody wants to be able to come to Vegas, and it's great to know that you can get your medicine here when you come. You can't do that in any other state right now. You're the only one, so this is for you.
Well, and I know, one of the things, so many people that when they heard that you were coming out said, is this a dream come true for you? And, for me, I just didn't dream this big. so you have accomplished so much. For those of us, here, I think we all know your history. What are you dreaming of these days?
Well, I'm dreaming of a day without a cold. I'm just dreaming of a day when, we don't have to keep explaining that we are sitting with 2017, 2018, 2020's penicillin in our hands. Because, I come from this, I've always been ahead. But once I stopped smoking cigarettes, I was no longer able to smoke a joint. And my daughter gave me a pen and said, maybe this will help, because I know you miss just the groove that you're in. And what I discovered was that all of the things that I was ill from, once I took the pen back, I realized that it had been holding all of these things at bay. I'm losing my eyesight. I have glaucoma in the strangest ways. So a lot of life is like this for me. But what happens is you get these crazy headaches. And I started to get headaches, and I just thought, oh, it's just normal. This is what happens. Man, I was like, oh, this is what's stopping this. This is what's keeping this from happening. Is I take my drops, you do your drops and it's supposed to shrink it down, but it doesn't always work and the headaches always come. So I discovered that not only was it taking care of headaches, but 10 years after the last egg I had, and you ladies know what I'm talking about by the last egg, I discovered when I gave my granddaughter, who was of age, I gave her the pen, and she had no cramps. And so a friend of mine called Rick Cusack, who used to run High Times, used to come over, and we'd have these great conversations, and he'd say, oh, you can't believe what Snoop Dogg is doing. You can't believe what Willie is doing. You can't believe what this one's doing, what that one's doing. And I said, well, is anyone doing anything like for the menstrual cycle? And he started laughing. He said, what are you talking about? No, that's a niche market. You can't make any money with that. I said, I don't want to blow your bubble, but that niche market is half the population. It's amazing what people forget. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, at some point in time, somewhere all over the world, someone's getting a period, is in the middle of a period, or just coming out of a period. Somebody's bleeding somewhere. And it may not hurt, but it's not comfortable. And as you all probably know, productivity in women drops every month. It's why women are paid less, because people assume we can't handle our bodies. Because when you talk to people about menstrual cramps, they laugh. Case in point, trying to get Chris Christie to allow doctors to prescribe marijuana for the cramps. His response to me was, our doctors will never prescribe medical marijuana for this because we only prescribe for real pain. But this is stuff you already know. You know this. Women don't talk about it. People don't talk about it. We don't tell little girls about it, and so we don't prepare them. Figure school. Girls go to school every day. 2-3 days of the month, they're out of school with cramps. That also lowers productivity. So the narrative is that women can't handle it. So, it must not be real. It's oh yeah. And then you suddenly realize when you're talking to people, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And you can also say that women who have never had cramps often don't believe they're real either. So for me, weed is all about the medicine. I spent some time with talking to the Stanley brothers, spent some time with lots of different people because the fact that hemp, that you can't grow hemp in the United States seems really stupid to me. So I started to talk to several folks I know on different reservations to see if there was a way that we could involve the Native American community because there are a lot of seizures in that community as well. And so I thought if we could talk to them about growing it on the land and then maybe having wellness centers for families. Because families, when a family drops everything to move someplace to take care of their kid, it's because they're desperate. They're desperate. So when you talk to people and they say, well, they're just trying to get their kids high, it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But that's the mentality.
Yeah.
That's the mentality. And so I was saying earlier that one of the things I would love to see just the industry create is a place for parents who have gone through this, whether their children have seizures, whatever their children's issues are, to create a database so that other parents who are going through something like this might have a way to say, oh, someone has done this, and it's not this thing where I shouldn't be doing it and I should feel terrible for trying to make my kid better. We have to ensure or explain to people that this is as important as anything. The quality of life of your child is important, more important than, the guys that are coming and knocking on the door. But see, if we had a database, we could point to something and say, I'm not getting my kid high, this is what I'm doing. So there's a lot of things I hope start to happen and stuff. So, that's that's the biggest reason I'm part of this is for this.
Well, and you clearly, you guys just launched your second state in Colorado.
Yes.
We hope you launch in Nevada very soon.
Yeah.
I know you hope to as well.
Yes.
With Whoopi and Maya, what do you think as far as from a product development standpoint? Where are you guys going? Is it going to be all 50 states down the road?
I would like to make it the world because there are women everywhere, and everybody has a cramp. And I should let all the men in the audience know the craziest thing about our product is guys love it. Because if you're a runner, your muscles are aching. If your back is bad, your muscles are aching. So just because it says menstrual on it, don't be afraid of that because the uterus is a muscle. All these muscles down here, we all have muscles. Some of them in the same place, they do different things. So don't be afraid of something that says that because if it's working for muscle issues, it's going to work for you. I'm just letting you all know that. But they've asked us to maybe put out a thing that says like guy. It's the same exact shit, but it says guy. So that's what we're going to do to try to make folks feel better about using it. And you're never going to get high on our products. It's not about that. But if you're someone who's going through chemotherapy, it's going to make you hungry. and it's going to calm your stomach down. If you have lupus, it can help. Our products have been known to help with any kind of joint issues, muscle issues. That's why I call marijuana a penicillin, because we don't know the half of what it can take care of. It's kind of fabulous. You know.
Yeah. Well, and you are a grandmother and a great grandmother of some amazing, powerful women.
Yeah, weird women.
As a mom, I'm always asking, what were some of the core values that you really wanted to instill in your girls growing up that helped them to become strong leaders?
I wish I could give you something deep. I can't. It was more about, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You know what? Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. And then they come in and go, it's really cold out there. I say, yeah, Madonna's bustier only works inside a concert center. You know, you think she's looking cute, that's how old my kid is. That Madonna was her, you know, so she'd try to put all that shit on. It's like, you know she's in a controlled environment. What do you do? Go ahead and do it. So basically, I basically said to all the kids, listen, do it and see what happens, you know?
That's fantastic.
And then they go, well, why are you saying do it? I said, because you said you wanted to do it. I thought you wanted to do it. They said, well, but why aren't you saying don't do it? I said, because you said you wanted to do it. So go and do it. That stopped a lot of stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's
Tell
great
them the
advice.
truth.
I'm gonna try that with my girls this weekend.
Well, can you take it though? You have to be able to take it.
I'll let you know how that turns out.
Okay.
No, of course you're performing tonight at the Treasure Island, the TI, and we love it anytime you come to the community. But I know you have a fondness for our fabulous city.
I do.
What do you love about Las Vegas?
Well, when I was a kid, I mean, this was the place you wanted to go to see anything. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't realize that I could not have gone and just sat and watched Elvis. I didn't know that, you know. But when you think about it, I mean, Joe Louis was given a home here after he got out of the boxing game, and they really sort of took all of his money and did all this stuff. And he said, listen, I'll be a greeter. And they kept him afloat for years. To me, any city that would recognize the greatness of someone who's fallen on hard times and say, hey, we got you, I wanted to be a part of. And then I met Steve Wynn, who said, I like your weirdness, so come to the Golden Nugget. So I used to perform at the Golden Nugget, and Sinatra was in the big room, and he and I know this is crazy, but he and I became friends. So he would send a note to me and say, where are you? Are you okay? And I'd send a note back, because remember when you used to mail shit to people? Sorry about that. Just saw you guys over there. Terribly sorry. Terribly. We used to mail things to people. And I would get a note out of the blue. How are you? You know, I'm going to be performing here. Do you want to come? And it was like, yeah, I do. And I talked to him about movies and the world. And I asked him why he thought it was important to keep Sammy Davis as his friend. And what he said to me was, because nobody tells me who I can like and can't like. Nobody. And I was like, okay, Frank. And that's now why I'm the way I am. Nobody tells me who I can like. Not the government, no one. I make that decision for myself. And so, you know, I got to be with extraordinary people. And I learned how to be able to come back and forth. You know, Mr. Wynn said to me, listen, you never want to have to work for me. So know how much you're going to gamble, and just don't go past that, because if you do, you're going to have to work for me. It's like, okay, I will, and I never had to work for him. I always wanted to work for him, so it was good. But I love the feel, and I just think I found nothing, and I'm sure there are boneheads everywhere, but I got nothing but kindness in the 35, maybe almost 40 years I've been coming here. So I just love it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, there are so many Trekkies in the cannabis community, I have to tell you.
Yes.
The last week we've been watching a lot of Star Trek The Next Generation in preparation. And so I feel like if I didn't ask about that, I probably would not be allowed to leave today. We noticed there's a little insider question that we have.
Okay.
Between Captain Picard
Yes.
and Guinan. There seemed to be a little tension there. Was there anything more to that?
He is as far as I know from Gene Roddenberry, Picard is my great 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 grandson.
Wow.
So she can go into any time, into any period. So she goes and she sees all of her kids doing different stuff. So he's one of hers, and he's not aware of it, but he knows there's some connection.
Wow.
But his family, he's family.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So, and of course, you did your time as a bartender.
Yes, I did.
Is there any time as a bud tender in a dispensary coming anytime soon?
Probably.
You let us know if you ever want to. We have some dispensaries.
Probably
that would love
once
that.
I don't work for Disney anymore. Maybe.
Wonderful. Well, I know it is your birthday weekend.
Yes, it is.
And we really wanted to help you celebrate your birthday. So one of the members of our team, the jeweler's daughter, Polly Weinstein, her father has had a jewelry store here since 1960.
Wow.
So she made you a little gold cannabis leaf that we wanted to send with you as well.
Is she here?
Yes, Polly, can you
Polly,
wave?
where are you?
Yep, so she made
Honey?
that for you.
Here's what's going to happen on Monday. Because it's Monday, it's my birthday on the show, and they really can't tell me no. So as you see, I always have 3 very strange and wonderful things around my neck, and I will wear this on Monday. Actually, I'm going to put it on now. Would you help me? Help me put it on, please?
Oh, amazing. Well, wonderful. And as well, one of our licensed producers has made a cake for you. And we were hoping that we could sing you happy birthday to thank you for being here. Is that okay? Fantastic.
Sure.
So I think Autumn has the cake. It's on its way.
It's not
So
an
we'll get your
infused
jewelry
cake,
all
is it?
fixed. No.
Okay,
No, everything is
good.
unfused.
'Cause I have to work tonight.
No. And yes, of course, I know some of the people here in the audience today will be joining at your show. And
I
we're
hope
so
so.
excited to see you
I should tell you,
perform.
it's not. I try not to do a whole. Where are you, dog?
Right here, yeah.
Hello. Here. Yes, please, because I cannot see. I try not to do too much politics because I have to talk about it every day. So I'm talking about weirder, stranger stuff. Like, yes.
What is your favorite part of being on The View? I mean, we love...
My check. Because it's very hard to be hated every day of the week. I might have to... Oh, no, I think I got it. Is it sitting good?
Yeah,
Is
there
it
we go,
sitting
yeah.
good?
Fantastic. Awesome. Okay.
But the show is all about, growing up with a really kind of wild and crazy mom and brother, and now having a weird great-granddaughter who is my go-to person for email because she swipes beautifully and she can read emojis. And so I talk about getting a breakup email that I didn't know how to read, so I gave it to her, and she was like, and she just handed it to me and said, "He's gone." She's like, "He's gone." It's like, good.
Bye, boy.
Bye, boy. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, well, I think now we have our cake. All right, is everybody ready? Okay. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Whoopi. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God, this is beautiful. You want me to hold it?
It's not gonna happen.
Okay, honey. All right. I'll blow it out. Thank you. My
Wonderful.
goodness. Birthdays are great,
Yeah.
I celebrate them for all of my friends who didn't get to have them. who don't get to have them anymore. That's why you must tell your age. Your age should be a big badge of courage. So this is 62 for me. You know? Yeah.
Wonderful.
So name every birthday. Say it out loud, scream it, shout it, party your ass off. in the name of whoever you knew who didn't get to be your age. In their name.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know I speak for the entire Nevada cannabis community. We are so excited about what you're doing in our industry, your advocacy every day, tirelessly, against all the naysayers. And
well, the naysay, look, the only thing we ever have to recognize, it's like, think about it as being gay, okay? Because people of a certain age don't understand gay people. They don't know. So you can't be mad at them. You have to only teach them. Because if you get mad, it doesn't help. So we have to look at this, and everything we do is saying, listen, this is what you've been told for 50 years. You've been told this is a gateway drug, this is a gateway drug. But you have to be able to say to them, here's what a gateway drug does. Gateway drugs don't necessarily lead to drugs, they lead to other excess. So you overeat, you overdrink, you over sex, you over, that's what gateways do. They lead you to become excessive. That's not what this does. You have all these things. We were talking, somebody was explaining to me that you can have alcohol-infused ice cream here.
yeah,
But you cannot have weed-infused ice cream. Now, here's the question. How many kids walk into liquor stores and say they want alcohol-infused ice cream? I mean, really,
Right.
How many kids walk in and ask for alcohol? None, right?
None, yeah.
Because they know you're 21, you can't come in here.
yeah,
One would think, since we have ages on the dispensary,
yeah, would be the same thing.
would be the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you can kind of give people a balance, and the penicillin story, which is penicillin was discovered, it did not go through any trials. It was just used because it worked.
Right.
This is the same thing, except that we do have information.
Yeah.
Parents of children with the
Epilepsy?
epilepsy,
Yeah, epilepsy.
Women with cramps, people who are in the hospital. The data is there.
Yeah.
We must collect it. We must find a way to put this data in, and we don't have to identify the people, because they never do in blind trials. So we can say, this is what we've been given. This is what we're giving to you, government, because this is what we know thus far.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like we're just sitting around getting high, because that's the thing. They just think you're just sitting around getting high. I say, listen, we have weed maps for that. We know where to go. People know where to get their, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if we can just keep a civil brain in our head when we're talking to people like Jeff Sessions, who just is stuck in a mindset, not because he really gives a damn, but because this is his mindset. And I know there are Republicans here somewhere, and I don't want to know where you are. I like y'all.
Probably very few in this room.
but there may be one or two. So a Republican can explain this better than I can, because remember what's her name said, Reagan's wife, just say no. And so
Nancy,
that's
yes.
in people's heads.
Yeah.
And particularly in the Republicans' heads. It's that thing, this is what we were told, this is what it is. But they are starting to make the shift too. So we have to be nicer. We just have to be kind to people when we explain new stuff to them. Because sometimes they're old, Sometimes they're old, and they were never heads. They were drinkers. But they were never heads. So we just have to be nicer and take deeper breaths and, try to move ourselves along. We're doing fine, though. Shit's going well. I'm very proud. So that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.